Welcome to Backseat Confessions Podcast. Slide into the backseat as we listen to mostly anonymous strangers tell us stories from their lives. I'm a rideshare driver in Atlanta, and the people getting in my car have absolutely no idea I'm going to ask them to share. My commitment to you is to tell at least a snippet of virtually every story recorded in my car in the order they were told to me. My hope is that you laugh, cringe, cry, but mostly connect to these amazing people. You may find a piece of your own story, or just feel more connected to the rest of us. Join us, won't you? So, hey, my new friend, this is an adult podcast. Themes and languages are definitely not suitable for everyone. Listener discretion is advised. Feeling a little down, a little flat, need a good laugh or some inspiration? Well, you've stumbled into just the right SUV. Hear the hum of the road and the soft leather seats under your rear end? Yeah, that's just the kind of vibe we're going for today. Our first guy was a bit of a rambler, but he tells us about the time he was 18, just out of high school, and went to Switzerland for a heavy metal concert. We pick up where he is wandering away from the concert area with no place to stay the night.
Story number 220. Saturday, April 10th, 2021, 1 a.m.
And so we have like the time of our lives there, right? And then my friends are obviously like still partying. I leave and I walk home and I meet this British couple and they're like, "What's your name?" I say Walker. Walker's a very British, like, "Oh, yeah. Walker." They walked me home at night and then they took me home, and I don't know, that was pretty much it. Like you're walking home in a town, like you're 18 years old and there's this nice British couple walking you back.
Wow.
And it's like a hard punk rock conversation. I don't know if you'll use this for your...
No, yeah. And they literally just, as a stranger, just took you in and gave you a place to stay. That's so cool.
Yeah, everyone like views, oh, you're American. Like, that's like the personas. Like, you're American. Like, you know, you're going to be ostracized in Europe. That's really not the case, especially in, you know, Switzerland, Germany, and things like that. It's maybe it depends on where you're at, Italy, but...
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah,
very accepting of the culture. Like, people like to see somebody like stranded. Like, I don't know where I am.
Yeah,
it's nice to walk somebody home one night, and
yeah,
I don't know. I think Americans are scared to travel elsewhere, but for the most part, especially in certain places, it's very welcoming.
Yeah,
like, even with like a heavy metal tribe, like this is a rock.
Okay, that's a message I can get behind, especially in the larger context of life, not just restricted to travel outside the US. Sometimes the way we think we are going to be perceived by some group of people is just not correct. So we get these ideas in our heads and we project them out to other people who then sometimes mirror that same thing back to us. Because we are all sending out energy and receiving other people's energy without really being conscious of it most of the time. So anyways, take the risk to travel outside your comfort zone every once in a while. Our next rider shares a few important things to know and pack if you're going out drinking in the ATL.
Story number 221. Saturday, April 10th, 2021, 1:18 a.m.
Things to be prepared for. Number one, depending on if you're going out with a few friends or very close friends.
Okay.
You need to have things in stock as far as wipes for throwing up.
Okay.
You need to have ibuprofen for sickness, headache.
Nice. Yep.
You need to have BioLite to get
those,
electrolytes
yeah.
in your body to feel better. You need to have edibles just to make you feel better.
Kind of even you
Why
out,
not?
yeah.
Because if you're not the person that's drunk, you're watching the other person being that fucking drunk. So
Right.
you need to have something to entertain yourself. Like, this bitch, I told her not to drink so much, and she still did. Anyways,
and for the audience to know, we pulled over and let your sweet friend throw up outside the door.
And it's okay because it happens. You know what?
Yeah, it does.
The thing is,
and she was a champ.
she knew exactly when she had to throw up. If you are above the age of 28 and you don't know when you have to throw up, that is a problem. You need to put in your mind, like, oh, I'm about to throw up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull over, open the door, and I'm throwing up.
Yep.
And I'm done wiping my face. You should know that by the age of 28.
Agreed. I'm with you.
Yeah, you can't be in Atlanta. If you don't, you need to move. There's plenty of other states to go to, but Atlanta might not be the place for you.
Yeah.
So we're moving on.
Nice.
Know when you got to throw up.
I like
Heard.
it. Heard and word. I always appreciate a rider who knows when they're about to toss their cookies. And I can get them to the side of the road and we can just lose it like a pro. I got pretty good at reading a rider's vibe. And thankfully, I've called it every time I've gotten someone in the vehicle who had a tenuous hold on the contents of their tummy. So our next rider is an interesting cat. Clearly, he's had a couple of adult bevs, but he makes some interesting claims. I chopped this convo down because of rambling, but he starts with talking about some research that he did decades ago that led to life-saving technology in cars. We go next to another potentially life-saving idea he has, and end with what he's currently working on.
Story number 222. Saturday, April 10th, 2021, 1:42 a.m.
So, in the grand scheme of things, everybody walking around here in every car across the road right now, it has an airbag in their car, and there's a reason behind that.
Yeah.
And that's legislation passed back in 1990 to research that I did.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
You know, and that the short answer is because certain vehicles had a differentiation to crosswinds, a risk, etc. All of them and now have passed a law that avoided really a class action lawsuit regarding around, the risks that were associated with various vehicles.
Yeah.
So now those safety standards exist. I do keep a running total. It's about 44,000 lives that exist because of that law.
That's so cool. That's a really amazing
right now to prevent heart attacks at a basic level.
Okay.
And that's let's say you take a Fitbit, you add galvanic skin response and overall blood oxygenation content. In addition to Fitbit background, you could literally change people's ability to prevent heart attacks by determining it 2 to 4 hours in advance.
Wow.
That's just a natural condition of angina.
Okay.
Is that you have that awareness.
Yeah.
And by taking advantage of that bit of information, we could prevent a lot of unnecessary deaths in the United States.
Wow.
And this is just one of many, many technologies out there that we simply need to be open-minded to.
Okay.
And examine the abilities.
I've never heard anybody talk about being interested in teaching people how to speak, do public speaking or make speeches, and that changed the world. But that's a fascinating. Why do you think that would? Why do you think that's the good place to put your energy over something else to teach people how to make passionate speeches? Like, why do you think that that's more important than something else?
The Gettysburg Address, the Challenger Shuttle Address, Obama's inauguration speech.
Yeah.
To these things, we do not go to the moon because it is hard, but we go to the moon. We do not challenge the moon because it is hard. We go to the moon because it is hard.
Yeah.
Our species has changed because one man stood for a voice. I have a dream. We will go to the moon.
Right.
These things have changed the world.
Wow.
And I personally can't change the world. But if I teach one person how to speak and their dream matters, their dream actually can push people to move in a direction that will make us a better place.
Yeah.
Well, then absolutely, there's no reason not to pursue that.
That's really cool.
I can sit in the background and be happy about it.
That's awesome. So what is the means by which you deliver this this technology, this information, this education? How do you plan on delivering it?
It's coming via phone application.
Okay.
It's going to come somewhere around the June timeframe.
Okay.
We're currently in an alpha test where we're validating a lot of things.
Okay.
In the background. This application has been written before.
Okay.
I had an opportunity to write back in 2007. The realities were there was not the technology to make it a function.
Right. Okay. Fair.
And now that technology exists.
Okay.
And fortunately, I had the right developers, the right people.
Yeah.
And, we're going to keep it kind of undercover from that standpoint.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm also going to turn it over to a lot of actors and students across all of Atlanta.
Nice.
Knock on wood. Some of the politicians where we go, do you want to make a difference?
Yeah.
Because there's no voice greater than the voice of a child saying, this needs to change.
Right. Right. Yeah. Fair. Wow. That is fascinating. Well, Mr. Rabbit, thank you so much for sharing. That's you've got quite an eclectic but fascinating story.
Absolutely. Thank you. And you have a good, fantastic evening. Okay.
Not sure if I was a smart inventor that I'd prioritize good speech making as a way to make the world better, but it's definitely an interesting concept. I guess we're all trying to leave this place a little better than when we found it. Every so often, you just get the perfect backseat confession story. This is one of those.
Story number 223. Saturday, April 10th, 2021, 6:36 p.m.
That's impressive.
So back in, I'd like to say it was September, October. I was single. I was on the dating apps, Hinge, Tinder, and Bumble.
Okay.
The big three.
The big three, I like it.
Tinder. So I was swiping and came across this chick. She's pretty cute. I showed her to one of my buddies at the gym, and he's like, "Oh yeah, man, she's hot. Yeah, go ahead, go on that date."
Yeah.
So it turned out from like a date, going out, getting drinks, to come over to my place. She's like, Netflix and wine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, not really a wine guy, but let's go.
Right, for sure.
And so she's like, all right, this is where I live. So went on that way, and got to the apartment. She said, just let the concierge know you're here for this room number. So let them know. They let me up. I'm coming up to the room.
Right.
Really got my blood going. Adrenaline rush. It's like, all right.
Yep.
Going in. This girl wants me to come hang out. It's gonna be sweet.
Yep.
And get to the door, and she calls me. So she's like, all right, so this is what I'm gonna do. The door's locked right now. I'm gonna unlock it, and come on in. I'm gonna be in my bedroom, and I just want you to come in. I was like, all right. I was like, don't know where this is going, but I'm intrigued.
Right. Yeah.
So I heard the door unbolt.
Okay.
Went inside, and again, just adrenaline rush.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is
Blood's going. I'm ready. I'm like, okay, uncharted waters. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And So she's like, are you in the apartment? I was like, yeah. And she's like, all right, I want you to take off all your clothes and come into the bedroom.
Oh my God!
So I'm like,
she's telling you this through the phone.
Through the phone, yeah. So I'm like a little suspicious because it's like, I walk in, it's normal looking apartment, nothing really on the walls at all, just TV on a thing, kitchen's all done up and stuff, and so I'm like, all right, things are escalating here,
Right.
Just a casual Tuesday night,
Right.
And so I'm like, all right, this is a little weird for me. Again, uncharted waters. Not going to get undressed.
Right.
But as I'm approaching that bedroom door, about to open the door, like I'm a little weary because this voice sounds a little off. It doesn't sound.
No.
It sounds feminine, but doesn't sound feminine.
I'm feeling where this is going.
So, so it was a little weird. And again, going back to when I showed my buddy at the gym, he's like, "Yeah, she's hot. Go for it."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take this in, and my hands, like, I got a bead of sweat rolling down my forehead.
Wow.
And so I go to grab the door handle.
Right.
It's one of those, that you just pull the lever down, no knob to twist. It's just the lever door handle.
Right.
I open it up. There's just a lamp in the bedroom on.
Okay.
So, it's a little ominous lighting.
Right.
There's I'd estimate about a king or queen size bed in there in the middle of the room. Laying there on the bed was butt ass naked, a pair of tits,
Okay.
and a big old boner.
Oh, dude.
And
That's
it was
a
a dude.
buffet.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I let out just a big gasp. It was like, and went sprinting out the door. 12 flights of stairs. 12 flights of stairs down to the main floor, right back to the parking garage.
Wow.
So I was totally out of breath. Called my buddy that I had showed the photos to earlier, and he's like he couldn't believe what happened either.
Yeah.
So I went back. I went home. Took that one as an L.
Right.
Gosh. Deleted Tinder.
Yeah. And that's when you start doing some evaluating in life.
Yeah,
like, all right,
started.
There's a whole process of things that I did.
I started questioning myself a little bit. I mean, it was bigger than mine. So I was impressed.
Right, for sure. No,
2,
absolutely.
I was like terrified.
Yeah.
But yeah, 12 flights of stairs. Most conditioning I've gotten in probably like 2.5, 3 years.
Right.
And went and bought myself a big bottle of whiskey and drank the pain away.
I love that. Dude, that is an amazing story. Gosh. Yeah, that I don't even think that needs. Normally I have like follow-up questions, but one thing is you told that so well. Like in my mind, I was watching that go down as a movie. That is a short film waiting to be made, and it is amazing.
Yeah. I have PTSD, so I mean I remember that thing vividly.
Right.
Vividly.
Yeah. Right.
And I have my girlfriend here sitting in the middle seat, so I'm pretty sure this is the first time she's heard that story.
Yeah.
In the back of an Uber.
Right. This guy has such a great podcast voice and storytelling skills. Also, the trouble our libidos can get us into as dudes. Yikes. Another great story here about being invited to leave an Uber mid-ride.
Story number 224. Saturday, April 10th, 2021, 6:45 p.m.
So let's go ahead with my story. This is a story of how I got kicked out of an Uber.
Okay.
Well, my group got kicked out of an Uber.
Nice.
One time in Athens, Georgia, because I went to UGA.
Yeah.
You played football in UGA.
Okay, we don't need to know all that.
Okay,
Anyway,
yeah.
Okay, anyways, so we had just finished the night out drinking in the city, and then our Uber shows up, and it's this 40-year-old lady. She's like, it's his mom, and she picks us up. It's me and 3 other people.
Yeah.
And amongst one of those people is my friend that I've known since high school. That I've never seen the angry side of him.
Right.
He he's one of those people where once you see the bad side of them, it kind of changes your whole outlook on them as a person. But he was drunk, so that's where this story's going.
Right.
So we're in the Uber. I'm sitting in the front seat like I usually do because I can usually spark conversation with the driver.
Right.
But as soon as we drive off, we're heading back to the the kickback, and the lady. The driver, she says, all right, so everybody get settled in, it's gonna be a drive. And then we're like, wait, what do you mean? It's 2 miles away.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, so you've scheduled this, so you've set this Uber to send you back to Gwinnett County, your hometown.
Whoa.
45 minutes away. So the guy, the friend I was just talking about, he's the one that set up the Uber. He was drunk when he did it, and he sent it back to his parents' place back in I guess somewhere in Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
And so him being drunk, he's like, oh, it's fine. So he X's out of the Uber app. He closes the Uber app. He's like, I'll just start a new one. And so as soon as he does that, she's like, okay, so now your trip is canceled. And he's like, so what's the matter? Let me just schedule it while I'm in here. And she's like, no, that's not how it works. And then he's like, lady, just shut up and I'll do it right now. And then at that point, we're all drunk, so we're just we all put our heads down.
Right.
And
Shots fired.
Yeah. And then he's like, so they're going back and forth. She's saying, you can't do this. And he's like, no, it's fine. Let me just schedule it through the app for another ride back to the kickback. And then eventually gets to the point, he's like, lady, I will give you $40 just to shut the fuck up and drive us. And this is a 40-year-old mom, so she blows up on him.
Yeah.
And I'm hiding in the front seat. And it's just a mixture of me telling him, dude, shut up. I'm like, man, sorry, this is the alcohol talking. He's not usually like this.
Yeah.
And so it goes back and forth for about a mile. We end up hitting the highway. And they're just saying things, and I'm seeing a whole different side of him I've never seen before and whatnot.
Sorry.
Yep. And then at some point he says something I forget, and then she's like, all right, I'm gonna kick you out of this Uber. And then he's like, fine. He's like, kick me out right now. And then we're like, no, shut up, man, shut up, dude. We're in the middle of the highway at night and we're all drunk. Don't do this. And then she stops her minivan on the side of the road.
No, on the highway.
On the highway.
Oh, what
it's
a
about
gangster.
It's about half a mile from the exit. And so he gets out and he's still arguing with him. We throw him out, say shut up, stop fighting with her.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I can give y'all a ride back to your place free of charge. It's just him I don't want in the Uber. And then we're like, no, we can't just leave him.
Right.
He's on a scale of 1 to 10, he's an 11 right now. We can't just leave him on the highway. Right. So we get out of the Uber being good friends, and then we walk in I guess it was mildly drizzling that night.
Oh.
Yeah, we walk all the way to the exit. We end up getting pizza on the way, and then we walk to the kickback. And the entire time we're just dang, that was one heck of a night. And that was the night we got kicked out of an Uber.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're not really doing the night right in terms of a drunken binge if every once in a while you don't get kicked out of an Uber. I almost had to kick somebody out of my car last night on a rideshare. So yeah, I mean it happens. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Dude, thank you so much for your story. You guys have definitely you guys are actually my first ride for the night. So if this is how my night's gonna go, it's gonna be a fantastic night of stories.
Well, thank you for having us.
That. So yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome.
Yep.
I know the guy was drunk, but let me offer some advice to the listening public. Don't piss off your waiter or waitress. Some extra spit in your food may not be on the menu, but could end up on your plate. And don't be rude to your rideshare driver. Not to be Captain Obvious, but you're in their car. Okay, PSA over. Our next new friend talks about her spiritual journey, and I'm here for it. For me personally, I find that learning about people's spiritual evolution is one of the most interesting topics one can explore.
Story number 225. Saturday, April 10th, 2021, 7:15 p.m.
So my story is about my move to Atlanta.
Yeah.
My entire life I spent back home, which is Delaware.
Okay.
Long story short, I was born in New Jersey, grew up in India, moved back to America when I was 8.
Oh, wow.
And then when I moved back to America, we were in Delaware and stayed there until I was 25.
Okay.
So this is like the first time ever that I've been alone.
Yeah.
Which kind of forced me to look inside more than around. And looking inside is how when I realized I started my spiritual journey.
Oh, wow.
And it's been a crazy spiritual awakening, to say the least, because me being the type of person who's always there for everyone.
Yep.
I have a lot of little cousins. It's 9 of us. We're actually very close.
Wow, that's so cool.
So since I was the oldest, I kind of helped around, helping them grow up and stuff. So I've always been a giver.
Yeah.
It's just natural to me.
You're almost like a second mother at that point, honestly. Yeah.
They honestly call me their sister mom.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. So, it's the first time ever in my life that I got to sit down with myself.
Yeah.
And kind of see where I came.
Yeah.
As a little girl, I've always wanted to grow up to be independent, so I could do what I want when I want. Because having an Indian background, you kind of live under your parents.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, it's a beautiful culture, but it's very much like your path is sort of laid out for you.
Definitely.
And if it's something that you love, it's beautiful because there's security in that.
And it limits you.
Well, there's security in it if you love that, but you're right. If you don't love it, then you're right. It does limit you, yeah.
Exactly, because I think in my case it did. So that's why this time, that I've spent here alone has been the best 3 years of my life, I don't do many things that are that different, it's just, I don't know. I'm enjoying this.
So I have a lot of questions, but I do want to say, because obviously no one can see you, but you have really... what is the word? Kind, sensitive eyes and spirit. You've got a sweetness to you that's very real. You absolutely glow. So I don't know what I'm learning this with everybody else. I don't know what your spiritual journey's been, but whatever you're doing, whatever you're on, it's coming out of you in a really beautiful way. So I would love to know, okay, so being raised, I'm Indian, I'm assuming then probably a Hindu background, correct?
Yes, I'm Hindu.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what your spiritual journey in the last 3 years on your own, how has that looked?
It's been more about what I want.
Okay.
Other than, what my parents expect.
Okay.
Even though I'm trying to figure out what I want, I still respect what my parents wished for me.
Yep.
So I kind of try to blend the two together.
Nice.
So kind of like the culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give me an idea of a couple of tangible things that you're exploring as an independent person where, again, you are honoring where you came from, but you're also expanding your horizons. And just give me a couple examples of what does that look like in practical terms?
That to me looks like, oh wow, that's a really good question. I think it's more so of the freedom than something tangible.
Okay.
Because freedom to me isn't, oh my God, no one's watching me, no one's doing this, I'm gonna go crazy, I'm gonna go out of control. No.
Sure.
Freedom means I can move on my own time. I can do things when I want to do them, not because someone is expecting me to do it by this time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of taught me how to be on a schedule and how important it is to have, a structure to your day.
Yeah.
Even if it's something simple like going to work. Okay, I need to make time to go to the grocery store. I need to make time to go to the pet store.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just things, everyday things that we do, which we kind of just exist doing.
Yeah.
But we're not living in it, you know?
So are you talking about practicing being present then?
Yes.
A little bit? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like that to me is more important because being present is I'm feeling everything in this moment right now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't acknowledge how important it is, especially with everything that happened with COVID, you know?
Yeah.
So many lives were lost.
Right.
And it's, you know, no one knew, young people to seniors.
Right.
So I don't know. I think COVID like forced me to, you know, be thankful for what I have now more than ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and gratitude is, I don't know, to me it's like one of the big keys to contentment in life, and joy, if you will, is being grateful. So that's huge.
Yeah.
So, and I still haven't gotten a sense, and maybe, so when I think...
The other thing I forgot to add is the reason why this is so important to me is because I'm almost 28.
Okay.
And being Indian, 28, single, bad luck.
Oh, is it really?
Bad luck. You know, my mom's freaking out.
Yeah.
She's like, when are you going to get married? You're almost 30. I feel like I'm only 28, but I can't express it to her because she doesn't understand it the same way I do.
Right.
Yeah. So that's like something that I think is important for millennials to know. It's okay to slow down. You know, our parents' lives were totally different.
Totally different. Yeah.
You know, like kids now can operate an iPad before they can speak.
I know. Well, and even there's something that hit me in the last, I don't know how many years, but just the lifespan difference, right? Especially if you skip 2 generations back or so till now, I mean, there's a major difference in how long you'll live. So if you decide to get married in your mid to late 30s, it would be, you might have just as long a time with your partner as somebody who got married in their early 20s 2 generations before you, right?
Absolutely.
So, right, yeah. So it's just like you said, it's very difficult to compare a lived experience across generations.
Mm-hmm.
So do you? So you don't feel? I mean, I know you said your mom feels some kind of way, and there's like this cultural sort of like, oh, bad luck, whatever. But like deep down inside of you, do you have any sort of like little voice that's saying there's something wrong with you, or are you genuinely like good with where you're at?
No, honestly, and that's the thing. I'm just so happy by myself. I wasn't always this way. I am now.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy by myself and where I'm at in life that I don't even think about it. It doesn't, you know, matter. And it's funny because I had a conversation with her. I said, hey, Mom, like, you know, I'm thinking about freezing my eggs because I do want kids someday.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's like, no, you're supposed to get married and then have kids. I was like, no, but I don't have to get married. You know, like I can freeze my eggs and have kids when I'm ready.
That's right.
And she's like, no, we don't do that stuff. I'm like, what? No, this is an option. You didn't have access to that, but I have access to it.
That's right.
You know, so it's like, so I can slow down. I can enjoy my life before I start a family, which I'm not against. I want a family, you know, someday for sure.
Yeah.
It's just not now. I don't think it might be the next 5 years, you know?
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it. Is there any other part of like this spiritual awakening that's just kind of intriguing you? Like, is there something you're learning right now, or that you're being drawn to, that's like some area you're growing in that's standing out?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that because my intuition has gotten stronger.
Ah, that's awesome.
And man, oh man.
Okay.
The things you don't pay attention to, and then you start paying attention when you keep seeing them. Because now you're not just brushing it off like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
They're having a rough day. It's okay. Oh, but that's my best friend. She won't wish ill on me. You know, no one thinks that. But it's crazy because intuition has led me otherwise. And I ask the universe, like, you know, show me a sign.
Wow.
But then I ask again because I'm just like, this can't be true. You know, it's like, so it's wild what your intuition can tell you.
Yeah. No, you're so right. And I think women have stronger sense of intuition than men do. Partly, probably, my guess has always been to keep you guys safe. So it's really cool.
That's a good one.
Right? Yeah, that's why
I never heard that before.
Yeah, I've always noticed, like, between my wife and I, like, if she says something's feeling off about this situation or this person or whatever, if I stop and I slow down, I'll be like, oh, you're right. But it's not, as a 6'2" guy, I don't pay a lot of attention to things like that. Whereas for her, she's picking up on it. And that was what started making me think, like, oh, I wonder if it's because women are just physically a little bit more vulnerable, that God basically gives you guys this extra oomph of intuition, whatever you want to call that, to help make sure you guys stay safe. And then, like you said, it really is up to you to listen to it or ignore it or do whatever, but it's definitely there. And I do think in general it's quite a bit stronger for women than for men.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's like the mother's intuition.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's a thing. I could see it.
100%.
And I have a pet, and honestly I got her because, one, I was kind of getting lonely.
Right.
And then of course, baby fever. Like, who doesn't like babies?
Right.
And then
Right.
I was like, yeah, but I need something to take care of. What can it be? And I was like, I've always wanted a dog my entire life.
Yeah.
And now I was finally able to do it.
That's amazing. And that's such a
Yes.
constructive way to do it versus going out and making a baby.
Because I'm independent on my own,
Yeah.
and my mom can't say it's too much for me to handle because
Right.
I know what I can do.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yes.
Well, KP, thank you so much for sharing your heart.
You're
That's
welcome.
amazing. And I know some people will be, like, inspired by
Wow,
your journey.
I feel like this was meant to be.
I agree.
Yes, this was awesome.
Thank you so
It was
much.
such a pleasure.
My pleasure. I will confess, I've developed a bit of a positive prejudice with folks from India. Most people I've met from India, or first-generation Americans with Indian heritage, are just so peaceful, so intelligent, and very open and sensitive to spiritual pursuits. Honestly, I think she has a beautiful advantage with the anchor of her traditional beliefs on one side and our very American inclination to pursue independent thought on the other. Overall, she's just a lovely human, though. Our next rider is hard to define, but has one of the biggest personalities I've ever met and an absolute hype man about this podcast.
Story number 226. Saturday, April 10th, 2021, 9:15 p.m.
My story for us is you. Why? Because it's the most intuitive. This is the most craziest Uber ride I've ever had. Buddy got a mic in here. He has a park. Who else? I'm sorry. Like, who else is having a podcast during the Uber? Look, he has a. This is a. Bro, first of all, I've never been on the podcast because I am. I want to be an entertainer. Blah blah blah. But the fact that you are literally working while doing your dream. This is what we do at work. This is what Mr. Artemis Hart at 705 Boulevard is doing. This is what he's doing. Like, he wants everybody to go.
So now make sure you got to back up. Nobody knows who Artemis Hart is.
Artemis Hart is the owner of Urban Walk at 705 Boulevard, and if you can see the thing right there, and he is the best. I don't like using boss or manager. I want to say father. That's a little bit too far. Yeah, okay. But I'm saying though, he's more. I mean, who has father figures these days? That's something that's sorely missing.
Very much.
He's sort of like a mentor. Like I said, I wish that you would have told me this as soon as I got in the car.
No. That
was a big story I just told with the books he was giving us, and he put me on the 4 Agreements. The Richest Man in Babylon. Right now, I'm reading the 48 Laws of Power. Like,
so, and I want to make sure the people that are going to be listening to this have a clue. So I picked you up from Urban Walk.
Urban Walk is 705 Boulevard.
In what city?
Atlanta.
Okay.
Atlanta and Brookhaven.
Nice. And so And we were just talking about your job, and you were telling me about this guy who is your boss technically, but he's so much more. He's like a
he's
mentor.
So much more than a boss. Like, he's a boss, a mentor, a father figure. And like, I don't want to use boss because bosses just care about what you can do for them on the clock.
Yeah.
He cares. First of all, it's a black-owned business, which automatically threw me off because I've been cooking for 8 years and I've never worked for somebody who owned the establishment, and it's not about the money.
Wow.
And I'm a big movie buff, so I remember, like, if you know Batman, right, you would know about the Jokers, right?
Right.
And Heath Ledger's Joker, to be specific.
Okay.
He was the most dangerous villain in that movie because he wasn't about the money to him. Those people, they have legacies. It's about respect. Those people are never forgotten because they cannot be easily bought.
Right.
And he sort of reminded me, I don't want to say my boss reminded me of the Joker, but
right. In like the good version.
Yeah, he was like a good version. Like, he's showing us that, we come here, we clock in, and we do that. But also, he's teaching us lessons like, all right, well, even though you're on the clock, what else are you working on, Josh?
Wow.
Like, I have another cooking buddy, Tevin. He's trying to open up a dispensary. He's like, well, are you really trying to open up a dispensary? Well, what all do you need? Well, I can help you. I'm going to put you up with this. I have somebody else there named Brittany who's working on her own clothing line.
Wow.
You need an IEN and da-da-da. Like, he wants us to do things outside of the job space.
Yeah.
And it's like, he don't want us to work. He want our money. He literally gave me the book, The Richest Man in Babylon.
Wow.
Which is a good read.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
Extremely good read.
I know I've heard of it. I don't know the story, but yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I love, this is a guy that so clearly understands, like you said, sort of fathering / mentoring.
Yes.
And then he also understands the power of legacy, that if you believe that your spirit, your essence survives past your life on this planet, like that's the stuff that you get to take to the other side. You don't get to take your money, but you do get to take your legacy, and that's huge, bro. That's massive.
And I do want to give another shout out to you, like,
you're
because
so
I was
kind,
just
man.
telling you about the 4 agreements, about the things that you say can come true, and it can be a big thing for you. And it's like, my God, this is what you want to do. Fuck what I'm sorry.
No, you. Oh, yeah. This is a very adult podcast.
Oh man, fuck what everybody has to say, like, negatively. Well, you remember I just told you about taking anything personally from somebody. You made a decision. Like, matter of fact, you literally said something about the podcast. Instantly, I started. Like, yes, let's do it. Let's not even talk about it for 2 months longer. Let's start. I like the fact that even while you're driving, it's like, well, this is what I love to do. This is what I really want to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. Like, who was doing this? This is the most. My man, I like living in the moment, bro. This is the most original idea ever, bro.
You're like the best hype man ever. I gotta hire you to follow me around and hype me up. You're so awesome. I have a friend, by the way, that you remind me of. He's about your size and about your color, and the two of you would be. I would sit back and just watch you guys talk, like
a podcast.
No, just like to meet. So at some point, I just I gotta connect you guys. But thank you. You're so kind. Of course, I want to talk about you. So tell me about. Okay, I love and you said you're a person of faith. So I feel like you're just like in this amazing spot with this amazing man who's kind of helping you, guide you and shape you into a man and growth and all that stuff. So tell me a little bit about me? Where do you see yourself going over the next 3 to 5? Like, what is your plan?
I'm going to be rich as a fucking Rockefeller by next year. I tell you that.
Okay. What? Well,
yes, I said it.
Well,
but seriously, I like expressing myself just like you do in an artsy way. Like, Of course, I have a YouTube. I do music, but I've done so much music at this point. It's like I want to get in the video now. Like I have a ring light and everything. Like I want to get in the video, like make little short fit. I'm working on a TV show within the store that I'm working on.
Nice.
Like you ever seen The Office?
Oh, I love The Office. It's hilarious.
That's what I'm doing, but with a restaurant setting.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm literally doing it with a restaurant setting.
That's so
like
cool.
I have that. And the crazy thing about life is like, you remember I said always be firm with your words?
Yes.
I'm finna say something bold.
Okay.
I am the strongest motherfucker I know. Because I've done things that the average person will fucking fold like a napkin. Like, first of all, this year started out hard.
Yes.
This is before I bet Artemis. Like, of course I didn't. Like, listen to this story. My book would be so fucking awesome. I was sleeping on a fucking couch in December now.
Wow.
We only in April.
We're only in April.
I was sleeping on a couch in December. I had no job.
Wow.
I wasn't depressed because I was always optimistic for the future.
Yes, sir.
I was sleeping on a couch, like I didn't have no money. It was bad, but I always had confidence and sauce. I always had sauce.
I love it.
I ain't never been no dry nugget person, but I always had the sauce. But this was in December.
Yes, sir.
Life is so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I started working for Artemis, things start changing, got off that couch. We finna pull up at my house now.
Yeah.
Big ass house, nice ass house.
Wow.
I got a fucking iPhone. I didn't even have no phone last year.
Wow.
I got a fucking iPhone. I got 3 TVs in my room, one remote, all them bitches come on at the same time. I'm working on a TV show. I got an iPad in my book bag, like
wow.
Nice ass job.
Yeah.
I don't want for shit. And then in the height of all this was in March now, last month. And I'm like, man, life's good as fuck.
Right.
I'm straight. Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
What? Boom. Got the news that my mom passed away. And I haven't really expressed this story like publicly.
Yeah.
My friend was right there when it happened. I ain't gonna lie, if he wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have told nobody at work, but it was already over. But he's a dude though, so he was just like, go ahead and let it out, man.
Yeah,
like,
man. Absolutely.
Oh God, look, I would rather fight Mike Tyson when he was 20. Like, it was bad. Like, nothing hit me that hard ever.
Hey, can I say something real quick though? I want to say this as an older man.
Yeah.
I'm not Artemis to you because I don't get to be in your life all the time, but I want to tell you something very important.
Yeah.
Real men cry and have emotion, and the only thing I'll ever tell you, this is one of the things I learned, is when you cry with your head up, because tears from a man, if you're feeling pain and you bottle that stuff up, it's gonna come out in some other way, and it's gonna mess you up. If you gotta grieve, if there's something to be sad over, there's literally absolutely nothing to be ashamed of there. You grieve like a man with your chin up, and never ever be ashamed of that, and don't hold it back, don't hold it in. So anyways, I'm just telling you that as a little bit older man than you.
No.
Yeah, so
trust me, I grieve like a mother. Like, what?
You should. That was your mother.
But here's the thing, though. Like, does it even sound like I lost my mom?
No, it doesn't. I mean, I was saying, like, you sound like you're riding the wave.
It took me a minute to, like, even be able to say it out loud, because for the first couple of days, it wasn't even real. Like, breathing was hard, laughing hurt, which is crazy. And I told my bosses, I was like, it hurts to feel good. I don't know what this is. It was the worst. But positivity out of that was, like I said, nothing's never going to hurt me like that ever again. So it's like, I feel sort of protected in a way, like nobody could have made it. I know a lot of people who would have went through that situation that I went through and would have folded like a lawn chair, like immediately. You know, suicide hotlines and fucking all type of crazy shit. And it's like, no, I made it up pretty fucking good. I only took 3 days off of work, which is ridiculous. Most people get 2 weeks. Right?
Yeah.
2 weeks. No. 3 days. You know, it was pretty bad. I tried to go back too early because I tried to work it off, but you know, I couldn't do it. but I turned out pretty fucking nice. Like, and now it's like, man, life is crazy, bro. Life is just.
It is.
It's ridiculous. Like, it is like people. I totally get Kanye now. That's it. That's I totally understand him. Like, of course he don't give a fuck what y'all think no more. That man lost his mama. If I think Beyonce had the better video that year, I'd take the shit from Taylor Swift too. Like, who gonna do something to me? Like, I know my wife is a porn star. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. She look good.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's like,
no, that's hilarious.
Like, I know this is something weird too. Batman, I totally get it. All right, if that man saw his mom and his dad die in front of him, I would walk the streets of Gotham beating the shit out of people too. Like, oh man, that's crazy. And the new Justice League. This is a weird segue, but the new Justice League movie is fucking awesome.
Is it? Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't?
No, and I'm not as big of a Marvel guy as probably you are. No,
you're not a Marvel guy.
Well, I'm not a superhero person in general. My kids have finally gotten me more into it, but I still,
Oh, it's not for your kids. The DC,
no. My youngest is 21 right now.
Oh,
so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's good.
What level are you on?
What level?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm on level 29.
Oh, what level? I love it. I'm going to be 45 this year.
Oh, you're on level 4. Oh,
yeah. That's why I said I knew I was a tad bit older than you.
Yeah, that's nice. You said what level? Well, yeah. I mean, it's all a game. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Today at work, like, when you ever been talking to somebody and it's like, the conversation isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like a game audio. I just be like, skip. Oh, okay, except. All right.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Just try that sometime. Like, you will throw people off. Like, what did you say? Skip. Come on, get to the point. Skip. All right, except. All right, I'll do that.
Oh, well, you are a mess, man. I love it though. I love your energy, and I love. I want to ask you this though. Yeah. This is an important question because I know you said you're going to be super rich next year, which hey, God bless you. Much more important than even what you want to do to get rich is why do you want to be rich? What's the
as far as why I want to be, well, actually I don't really have a reason to be rich. It's just that I know it's gonna come with abundance mindset. I don't really care about the money.
Okay,
that's what, when you chase things, what happens? They run. Mm-hmm. And when you don't really care, like, I hate to bring females into the topic, but it's the same thing. When you chase after them, they run. But when you stop giving a fuck, they start flocking. And it's just like, when you love doing what you like to do for a living, the money's gonna just come.
Yeah,
it just comes. Like, I'm a cook. I love to cook.
Yep.
And it's like, getting a job is absolutely no issue. And when you doing what you, like I said, when you doing what you love to do for a living, the money is just gonna be there. Like, you're gonna totally forget. Like, you're doing the podcast now, but you're literally making money while you're doing the podcast.
Right.
Like, subconsciously.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I would definitely encourage you to think about like because you have such a big, oversized personality, and you're in the process of learning so much. It sounds like this Artemis guy has really made an impact in your life.
Yes, he is.
So start thinking about
actual plans.
Well, don't let this legacy that he has deposited in you end with you. Start thinking about how to take that legacy that he gave you, and how do you get to be Artemis to young men underneath you in age. And like, what does that look like? How do you make the world a better place through your life? And so, anyways,
teaching.
You're whatever it is you decide to do, you're going to do that if you decide you want to, because you have it within you to make the world a better place. You just have you have that kind of big, beautiful personality. People are going to be drawn to you. They're going to want to hear what you have to say, and you have a joyous, positive, infectious personality. And so, yeah, man, that'd be my encouragement to you is figure out what it is that you have gifted to you that you can turn around and make the world a better place with.
Yeah, my bad. I just went in the. Trust me, I'm soaking up everything. It's a lot, but I have to like for me, that's the busy part. Like, oh god, I can talk. I can just talk like this. Videos, music. I draw. I paint. I cook. I'm really too much. Like,
no, you're
I don't
not.
deserve this. That's too much. Now that you put it like that, like. But no, seriously. Like I am I am a rapper, but it's like I don't want to just put it into one form of art.
Yeah,
because I paint, I draw, and I'm trying to work on videos.
I love
Quentin
that.
Tarantino is my favorite director. Like,
Wow.
I actually love movies. Like I really do love movies and acting. And shots and just everything. Like. And just, I don't know, it might just be art, period. Yeah. Because this is art, right?
It is. Well, and I'll just tell you, my personal thing is I want to be a storyteller. And I feel like part of what you're talking about through video and music and all the rest of it is you're also a bit of a storyteller. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's what basically art is. It's like a finesse of reflection of reality.
Yep.
Nobody's ever described it like that. That's what art is. It's just a way finesse version of reality.
Yeah.
Because all art or any song, any lyric, any movie you've ever seen came from somewhere. Like
it did.
It was a thought that came from a real life person going through something. Even fucking Marvel, Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was all fantasy. No, it's not. He's actually got red, white, and blue. His name is Captain America. Right. Both of those are real things.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's a solid point. Do you, because we've used your name before we sign off, because we're only a couple minutes away from your place. Do you want to talk about any of the project you're working on so people can listen to your stuff?
Yes, I have a YouTube. My YouTube is 2GG.
Okay.
2GG, like 2 G's and an S, right?
Okay.
I have a TikTok, which is, oh God, I hate she named it like this. It's JJ. Oh God, that is so dumb. Like, my bad, I'm old, so it's I'm like, why did you just put Joshua Henry? It's stupid. It's J_J. 7177. When I say J, I mean JAY_JAY 7177.
Okay.
She is so dumb.
I would have totally gone with the letter J. I would never.
Yes, it's so difficult. And then the number 2 and actually 2 G's and an S on the YouTube. You're gonna see a picture of Majin Buu on it. But I do gaming on there.
Okay.
We do comedy skits.
Yeah.
Like we did this skit about the Virgin Mary, which was hilarious. I'm sorry, I watched a lot of South Park. So
see, that's some twisted humor in there.
Yeah, it was funny because it's just like,
oh yeah.
So you're pregnant out of nowhere? Yes, it's a gift from God. All right, look, you keep sticking to that stuff. Who is at my door? Hey, what's up? Hey, we the 3 wise men. We bought some Pampers. Who are y'all? Who are these guys? I just thought it would probably be a funny story. Like, that is funny when you think about it.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
She was pregnant out of nowhere.
Right.
And had sex.
Yeah.
And 3 dudes came knocking on. Oh man,
that's so funny, dude. I love it. Gosh, and I love your idea too of The Office in a restaurant setting. I think that could be. Really fun.
That's called Flamin' Raymond. That's coming on the YouTube channel because it's gonna be. Because I can't use Urban Walk. I probably can at this point. But we're just gonna stick it to Flamin' Raymond. Keep going
a little further.
Yep, you see what that red man bought? Yep, this is it.
All right,
I went from homeless to this.
This is a beautiful place, man. Man, that's amazing, bro. All right, Josh, thank you so much for sharing, man. You're the dude.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good, bro. Joshua, I wish you all the best as you continue to windsurf through this life. I hope you continue to change the world as you journey through it. Well, I hope you got a shot of joy and optimism from our new friend Joshua. What if we could all wake up each day with a fraction of his enthusiasm? What a colorful and hopeful world that would be. But I'm inspired by the way he described this Artemis fellow. And that's going to be my encouragement to all of us. If we get the chance to own a business or lead in some capacity in the workplace, may we strive to inspire those we are working with to want to grow and become the best versions of ourselves. Cheers to that, my friends. This is what happens when you are a rideshare driver in Atlanta and ask people for their stories. These weren't handpicked people with great stories. They just happened to get in my car and be gracious enough to share with all of us. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be in Atlanta and need to grab a rideshare and end up telling the rest of us the next great story on BCP. I'd actually encourage you to, every so often, just ask a stranger to share a story from their life. You never know what you might learn. I believe that our stories are powerful. They can make you laugh, cringe, cry, or even get you to think or feel differently. Our stories can truly make this world a little bit better place. So please subscribe, rate, and listen to this podcast and share it with as many adults as possible. It would mean so much to me. First and foremost, I want to thank the incredible writers who trusted me with your stories. You're my heroes. Thanks also to all the people in the background who have believed in this project/dream. All of the music on this podcast was found on pixabay.com, and it was free, which is an amazing gift when you're starting a podcast on a shoestring budget.